In this video, we're going to be ranking over 90 Dragons Rising minifigures. Let's get to it. Let's first go over a ranking system. Here we have F for like an absolute fail, things that we just really don't want. D as a D, which is also really bad. C, which isn't as bad but is still pretty bad. A B, which is not that bad, kind of bad. A- to B+. This is relatively good. It's between A and B, and then A is pretty good, and then S is like literally some of the best figures that we've gotten. Starting off with the Empress Beatrix minifigure, I think I'm gonna put her as a B. Empress Beatrix is not that bad of a minifigure. She has a really cool looking hairpiece, as well as a lot of different printing and face printing on both sides, but I just don't like her overall look. Next up, Climber Kai. For this minifigure, I'm probably gonna put him as an A. Now, trying to ignore the bias I have for this minifigure, since this minifigure was the absolute GOAT, this is actually a pretty good design. Now, I actually don't own this minifigure despite him coming in magazines. It's just because I live in the US. The armor and overall color scheme looks really good, despite this minifigure literally being an inverted Nia. I kind of want this minifigure. Okay, so I'm back from Target, got this set for around $45. Honestly, an amazing mech. It's just so good compared to what I've gotten, and most importantly, this Kai minifigure looks fire. For Cinder, I think this minifigure probably should go into the A- or B+ category. Now, while many might disagree, this is a pretty cool minifig. Nice color scheme, good parts, nice printing, not to mention printing on both sides of the head, and a transparent head too. Overall, pretty good fig in my opinion. Here we have Sora from the Build-A minifigure. Oh, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, Brickside Creator Man will come and break all your Lego sets. But actually, we're trying to get to 10K, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. I think this minifigure doesn't have a lot of printing and probably should just go in maybe the C category. Next up, we have this Kai minifigure that was exclusive to like this Lego gimmick set. Personally, I really don't like this guy, so I'm going to put him in a C. Here we have Aaron, but Mech Aaron. I don't have this minifigure, but I don't really like him too much. He's much of a reuse. I'll probably put him in C. Here we have Euphrasia. Honestly, this minifigure is really good. I actually made a custom of this one. I'm going to put her in A- B+ category. Here we have Climber Zane. Climber Zane is a really good looking minifigure. I think I really do like this one. I'm going to make him share the spot with A. Next up, we have Hound Dog Mech Bragg. Finally, a minifigure I have. Well, kinda. I actually use his torso for custom Gandalaria, but hey, anything for content. So here's the minifigure. Honestly, amazing printing, exclusive printing to his torso, and 2 face prints. I'm probably gonna put him in the B category. Next up, we have this Black Imperium Warrior. These guys don't even exist in the show, and they're a complete waste of my money. In fact, they're such an L, they have to wear Rapton's clothes. Minus 100 aura, bro. So I'm going to put him in F. We don't even need this at all. I'd rather have gotten some more golden ones in the sets. Next up, we have a Golden Imperium Guard. Honestly, this looks really good and is probably one of my favorite figures from Dragons Rising. I would say this minifigure is a bit more of B material. Next up, we have a Jordana minifigure. Now, this one was from the Climber mech specifically, so that's why she doesn't have any armor. Honestly, without armor, she doesn't look that great, so I'm going to put her in C. For Jordana with armor, I'm going to go with an A- to B+ category. Next up is Climber Cole, a really cool minifigure with awesome printing as well as armor. I don't really like the black on black as seen in the mask. The other ninja look better with more contrast. I'll probably put him in the A- to B+ category. If you like to do stop motion animation or like to voice act, we have the perfect Discord server for you. Not only does everyone give each other a bunch of animation tips and Mecha Bricks tips, we also post these cool collabs that you might have seen. So make sure to hit that link in the description to join our community. Next up, we have Mech J. For some reason, I just love the J minifigures. I think the color scheme just looks amazing. This is going to be like an A tier minifigure for me. And the minifigure doesn't look that bad. For the merged Lloyd suit, I think this guy is way too bland. I literally had to make it extra with like the dark on it because I thought it would look so much better. Not a really good figure. I'm going to probably put him in the C category. Next up, we have Mech Zane. Okay, Mech Zane is actually a really cool looking minifigure. The mask isn't too great, but the printing is really good. Overall, I like him. I'll probably put him in the B category. This guy is just a reused minifigure, so I'm not going to rank him properly. I'm going to put this minifigure in the C category. Next up, we have Cyrus Borg, who's got to be one of my favorite figures. Next up is Cyrus Bar. Now this guy's printing is probably not the best, but for some reason it just stands out to me. He only has one face, but I also own the Overboard minifigure, so that kind of makes up for it. You know, on the Ninjago City markets how everything is made for wheelchair accessibility? Well, if Boy needs to go to the bathroom, he can't go because there are literally stairs that way. I mean, then again, he's Boy. He could probably make his wheelchair fly or use like Gundam legs or something.
So I'll probably put this minifigure in the B category.
Next up, we have Merge Suit Kai, like saying another bland minifigure, but still kind of cool. I do like how he has a black belt. It adds a lot more contrast.
I'm gonna put him in the B category. Next up, we have Sora.
Sora, my goat! This minifigure looks so good. Like the dual molding on the headpiece is just amazing. I love how you can like add powers to this minifigure and it will still look pretty nice. 2 different face prints, amazing pieces.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my A category. Next up, we have Zane from Dragon's Rising Season 1.
Honestly, for the Zane minifigure, he's just really bland. Like, there's not a lot to him. He looks a lot like the other Kai minifigure. Like, he's not really, like, special in any way. And, like, with the dark head and white suit, his head can barely be seen, unlike Kai's.
I'll probably put him in the C category. Next up, we have Dareth.
Now, this Dareth minifigure without the glaze isn't that great. Honestly, he just has one exclusive print, and then he has a cool headpiece, even though one of his heads are sleeping. Bit of a mid-vig, I still do kind of like him.
It is very accurate to the show design, and therefore I'm going to probably put him in the B category.
Next up, we have Misdemeanor. A lot of amazing printing. I really do love how that like jetpack air tank thing was done in order to make the fire. A- B+ fig.
Next up, we have Matt Cole from the Tournament of Sources.
Now, I know I'm pulling up with the AliExpress custom, but this guy doesn't look that great. Like, he still looks pretty good in the pictures, but not that great overall.
I'm probably going to put him in the B category. Next up, we have Tournament.
In the images, these minifigures look really bad, but in real life, this honestly looks amazing to me. I just love this fig so much. All the new parts and dual molding just look amazing on her. This is a really goated minifig.
I'm probably going to put this minifigure in the A- to B+ category. Next up, we have a Borg store employee.
A really cool and interesting minifigure, but a pretty useless one as we've never really gotten a Borg store employee in the show.
I'm probably going to be putting her in the D category. Next up, we have a Ninja Kid.
Or actually better named the Dojo Kid. This torso print actually came in the bailed minifigure as well as the like 2022 core line. Cool fig, I guess.
But I'll probably put her in with the D.
Next up, we have Tournament of Sources Lloyd. I actually really do like this light green coloring, and the molds on this minifigure are absolutely amazing.
I'm going to put him in the A- to B+ category. Next up, we have Aaron from the Ninjago City Market set.
Now, the only thing that's so special about this minifigure are these legs, which I honestly very much love. Overall, really good looking fig. I'm
probably going to put this minifigure in the B category.
Next up, we have this Aaron minifigure. He's just a dupe from a book, so I'm not really going to care.
So I'm going to put it in a D. Next up, we have a Baker.
Another L fig that I just don't really need, but a really cool hairpiece.
I was thinking an F, but you know what? Let's just do that D. Next up, we have Dragon's Rising Blacksmith Kai.
This minifigure is very generic. Like, this body print comes in like 14 other sets. Would have rather had some more accurate ones to the show.
So I'm just going to put him in the category. Next up, we have this random sailor.
I don't think anyone cares about this minifigure, but I do like the hearing aid on it.
I'm just going to throw him in F. We don't really need him. Next up, we have Build a Minifigure Aaron.
So this minifigure is actually exclusive to LEGO stores. It came in the Build a Minifigure for May 2023. Along with the new core suit, this head print looks amazing.
So I'm probably going to make him a C tier minifigure. Next up, we have Camille.
Okay, so now this one is actually really good looking. While her minifigure isn't accurate to the Tournament of Elements, she is accurate to the Tournament of Sources. And that printing with that hairpiece just looks beautiful.
This minifigure is probably going to my A- or B+ category. Next up, we have Climber Lloyd. Climber Lloyd is a really cool minifigure. I think the color scheme on this works well. So I'm probably going to throw him in the A category because the Climber Ninja are just really good in my opinion. Next up, we have Sora.
Okay, so this Sora minifigure is actually not that great. It's just the Markets one with like a dark blue mask on it. Overall, definitely could have been better.
I'm probably going to throw her in a D. No one really likes this minifigure as much. Here we do have Detective Zane.
I've wanted this minifigure for so long, so finally so happy that we're getting him. I love the fact that we got a new face print for him.
A- B+ category, even though he doesn't have a lot of prints. Here we have Evil Jane.
And dude, this minifigure is actually so goated. Like, I love this minifigure so much. The new molding, we got a new mask as well as armor, and that printing, amazing. Perfect.
He's getting A for sure. Next up, we have one more of those black guards. Personally, so useless to me.
Like Lego, just give us more accurate stuff. Next up, we have the original Grizzly Bear minifigure. I think the arm printing in the general design looks amazing.
Probably gonna make him an A-B+ minifigure. Next up, we have Mech Cole.
Not the best color scheme, still a really good looking minifigure. I'm gonna put this one
As a C-tier minifigure. Next up, we have Aaron from Dragon's Rising.
Okay, this might be a little bit controversial, but golden minifigure. That helmet piece looks amazing. Like a dual mold is absolutely perfect. Great printing, good figure overall.
This is definitely an A-tier minifigure for me. Next up, we have Cole from Dragon's Rising Season 1.
All black actually does look pretty cool. It makes his visor pop out more. Great printing, probably one of the better merge suits.
If they'd given him arms or like legs like in the shell, that would have been so cool to get on this figure. I'm probably gonna put him as a B-tier minifigure.
Next up is Climber J. I am so happy I bought this minifigure. He's such an A-tier guy. Like, that color scheme is amazing.
This is an A-tier minifigure for sure. Next up, we have Climber Nia.
Not as cool as J, but this is still a very A-tier minifigure.
Next up, we have this Golden Guard minifigure.
Finally give my real opinion on this guy because we're actually getting the show accurate design. Honestly, really cool fig. I think the design and color scheme works well as the new molding.
So I'm gonna put him in C-tier.
Next up, we have a light green variant of Lloyd, which actually works very well on his new mech suit. Great printing, great design, love the colors.
Probably a B-tier figure. Next up, we have Jay from Dragon's Rising. Now, this might surprise people, but I think he's going to be an A-B+ minifigure. Simply because I don't know, but maybe I appeal more to blue. The light blue and dark blue color scheme just makes him feel kind of cool.
Next up is this Neofig, which is a dupe from the Dragonstone Shrine. Don't really care too much, but still looks cool.
I'm just going to throw her in the C category. Next up, we have Tux.
Tuxekida's new design is actually looking pretty good. Very solid printing, it looks great in this lighting, and then this hairpiece mold looks amazing.
A-B+ category because she's a really cool minifigure. I love the prints that we're getting, even though some of the parts are reused, it all ends up looking really great.
This is going to be controversial, but I really do like this Cole minifigure with an orange mask. Not to mention some really good looking printing that has an amazing color scheme along with some pretty cool looking parts.
A-B+ for sure. Next up, we have the
Master Lloyd minifigure. Really good color scheme and design for this fig. Nice pieces too.
Yeah, I think he's really cool. I would probably put him in the B category. Next up, we have the wolf mask guys with like those big claws.
Alright, so here we have the Blood Moon Warriors with those little like arms. Really cool new pieces. I think it's amazing Lego made them. Cool figure overall.
Next up, we have Racer 7.
Next up, we have Razor 7. Razor 7 is not really accurate at the show. She just has a Bionicle t-shirt. Don't like her too much.
Probably a D-tier minifigure for me. Next up, we have Rapton. Rapton is an F, no question. Like, if he wants to get anywhere else, he first needs to learn to fix his hairline. Next up, we have Mech Kai. Mech Kai is a really cool minifigure. I'll probably put Mech Kai in B.
Mech Kai, some pretty nice color scheme, pretty nice design. Overall, not that bad of a minifigure.
Yeah, I'm going to put her in a D. I'm also going to take this gimmick and throw him in a D. These have golden masks, and I think the light red and the dark red combo works much better than whatever this is. Next up, we have Roby.
Okay, in my opinion, Roby is a bit of an L minifigure simply because he just doesn't come with any good printing. Like, he only has torso printing, but leg printing kind of sucks and his head's reused.
So I'm going to probably put him as a D tier minifigure. Next up, we have Lloyd. I'm just going to throw him in B since the other variant is there. Next up, we have Woo. Woo is a really cool minifigure from the Dragonstone Shrine. Personally, I hate Woo. I want him to die because he hasn't done anything good for the ninja at this point. But this minifigure does look good. I'll make him an A-B+ minifigure. Next up, we have Sora with her cat ears.
In a sense, you could say this Sora minifigure is kind of mid, but overall, she doesn't look that bad. I think her hair is just alright. Cool way to get the hairpiece.
A B category. Next up, we have Aaron from Tournament of Swords.
This one's also going to be very controversial, but I really like this Aaron minifigure. I just love the dark blue and the orange, and it makes a nice contrast, so I really like the dark blue mask instead of the orange one.
I'll probably put him in the A-B+ category. Next up, we have Cinder.
Cinder, a pretty bad figure in my opinion. Like, come on, we didn't even get like red eyes, legs that are just smoke. We could have gotten real legs, and instead we got a really bad looking Shatter Spin armor. Like, come on Lego, just color it.
Probably as a C tier minifigure. Next up, we have Tournament Kai.
This Tournament of Sources Kai minifigure looks really good. He's not technically canon, but I do love the design, and Kai looks amazing in these tournament robes with like sleeveless and like headband stuff.
A-B+ tier. Next up we have Tournament Sora.
To me, I do like Sora's tournament suit. It does look very nice to me, so that is just my opinion. I do think that she could have had colored in cat ears. Like, if you look at old and new molding, it looks very good. I did make my own variant with colored in cat ears because I thought it looked really cool. And yeah, Sora's
Next up, we have Wildfire, and
Wildfire is also a very good minifigure because she actually doesn't look like any of the other ninja, making her very important, or at least better than a lot of other minifigures. Now with the Climber back, I actually have about 3 of these, so that's pretty cool.
I'll probably put her in the A-B+ category. She's not a bad minifigure. Next up, we have the Temple Guard of Spirits.
Or whatever his name is, I don't really know, but the Temple of Spirits is a really cool minifigure overall. He is very accurate to the show. He did actually come in the magazine. I don't have it
though. Put him as a C tier minifigure, even though he has some decent printing. Next up, we have Mech Nia.
Nia with gunmetal gray and blue doesn't look too great to me. I think the overall design looks fine, but not really that great for me. And then we also do have a couple more civilians. This is one of like the old ladies from the markets, and then we also do have the sushimi chef, and along with that, like the guy that works at Lucy's shop. I think both of these guys are probably going to be D figures, and then the other one in F, they're just not that great in printing. And then we also do have Lloyd. This is actually one that came out in a book. It's a Samurai Lloyd minifigure, completely not canon, but still looks kind of good with the color scheme and all.
Next up, we have Blecht. Blecht is a really cool minifigure.
Kind of really don't like Blecht's minifigure. I mean, he just doesn't look that great. He has plain legs, which is kind of accurate though. His head printing, he only has one head, so it's not that great. Not the best minifigure, but still kind of accurate.
I think he sort of accurately represents his figure on the show, so I'll put him in C for that reason. Next up, we have a Temple Guard.
This Temple City Guard minifigure doesn't look that bad. I mean, he does not have a lot of printing, unlike what he had in the show, but he's not too terrible.
All in all, I still think it's a good minifigure. I'll probably put him C tier. Next up, we have Jordana.
This Jordana is honestly a very cool minifigure. If you want to say she's technically rocks too, would be cool if we got red eyes, but overall good printing, good figure, and it's really accurate.
Probably put her in the A-B+ tier. I mean, next up, we have Pale Man.
Next up is Mr. Pale, who I would probably downgrade for printing in the terms of the tire list, but he's still pretty accurate and honestly good looking minifigure.
Lord Grizzly Bear, yes! Lord Roz with the Blood Moon style. Personally, I'd love to get a pink version of this minifigure since that
Lord Grizzly Bear, my guy. This is the third and most recent version of Lord Ra's amazing minifigure. That arm printing looks amazing. I just love this minifigure so much.
I'll probably put this minifigure in the A category. I'm gonna say probably a D category. We don't need him. Even the normal wolf mask without any armor is also D. I honestly don't like the design as much as the other wolf. This wolf mask is probably B tier minifigure.
Now looking at the average wolf mask minifigure, I think they did a really good job with this one over the Blood Moon one. The Blood Moon one has a little bit more purple and red, which just don't look as good as dark blue and light blue.
The best. Here we have Tournament Zane.
Zane the Pain, the ice in the veins, does not look that great in that tournament suit in my opinion. I mean, the silver just kind of clashes with the white and there's not a lot of contrast.
I think he doesn't really deserve to be up there with the rest in the A-B+ category. We have the wolf mask guy, and if you were actually wondering, he is canon. He's canon to the Shatterspin comics.
So, since he's technically canon, I'm going to say this minifigure is accurate. He does have some cool printing overall. I mean, nothing more than what a Wolf Mask Warrior has, but it's cool that you can switch his heads, so it's like light blue and not.
I'm going to probably put him in the B category.
Here we have our final Grizzly Bear variant. This is not as good as the other ones because it doesn't have arm printing. It doesn't necessarily need arm printing because, you know, he doesn't actually have arm printing in the show. He's wearing black sleeves.
Here we have Roz. Next up we have Wildfire.
And lastly, here we have OG Wildfire. Not a great minifigure in my opinion. It's still some very cool printing, cool new hairpiece, but I kind of wish we got another head for her. Like, come on, Lego, why are you slacking? overall, compared to the new Wildfire, I like the new one much
Here
more.
we have every single one of the A tier ninja. It's time to move them up. Now, I would probably start with the Climber Ninja, but I think I'll start with Eren and Sora. They are both going up. They are really good minifigures from Dragon's Rising Season 1. I think these are like literally the best, if not at least some of the best. And then here we have Roz from Dragon's Rising Season 2. He definitely needs to be up there. Such a good minifigure, such good printing. He's just there. Next up, I'm gonna probably put Evil J from Dragon's Rising Season 2. Oh my god, such a perfect minifigure. And then I'm also gonna put, of the rest of these 6 ninja, Climber J. Climber J with that dark blue metallic armor looks just so good. I love this minifigure so much. For the rest of the minifigures, I'm probably gonna put up Climber Lloyd and Climber Nia. I think I'll leave Kai Zane and this other J minifigure over here. These are probably my top minifigures for Dragon's Rising Season 2 as a whole. Alright guys, so now we're going to be moving on to the A- B+ minifigures, and we're going to move them up to the A ranking. So let's see. Cinder. Cinder's a really cool figure. I'm kind of considering whether I want to move him up to A, but I think his, smoky appearance in terms of his head being transparent is really cool. And I think his printing on both sides also is really cool. I think I'm going to move him up to an A-ranked minifigure. Next up, we have Euphrasia. I think she's fine here. She isn't the best minifigure. She's a pretty cool one, but she isn't the best. Jordana is a cool minifigure, but another minifigure I think I'm not going to be moving up. She just isn't as good as Cinder, and I don't think I want to move her up. Climber Cole. Definitely an interesting minifigure. I still don't really like his color scheme, so for that reason, he's going to stay in the A-B+ category. Next up, we have Miss Demeter, a really cool minifigure, but honestly, not really minifigure that honestly deserves to be the A category. I mean, I love her accessories, but just no. However, Torny Nia and Torny Lloyd, I'm putting them up there. They kind of deserve to be there. They're honestly really good looking minifigures, and all minifigures, yeah, they're definitely going to be up there. Camille, a really cool minifigure, probably one that doesn't deserve to be an A. Nothing really too cool about this minifigure. Not like she's like that much better than Jay, but still really cool. Next up, we have Detective Zane. Detective Zane is a really cool fig, but he just doesn't have enough printing. I think he lacks a lot of printing that could have made this minifigure so much better, and because of that, he kind of isn't. Next up, we have Lord Roz. Lord Roz is a cool figure, however, he isn't as good as the other ninja, but his printing makes him perfect. I think I'm going to keep him in the A category. Next up, we have Jay. This Jay is staying here in the A-B+ category. I don't think he really deserves to move up. Next up, we have Tox. Tox is a minifigure I'd consider moving up, but probably won't. She is a cool minifigure, but not really like an A figure to me. She's more in the A-B+ range. This Cole minifigure is a really cool minifigure. I mean, like, he just looks amazing. I love the contrast we're getting in him, but with the black and like sort of orange color scheme, I'm not really sure if I want to move him up to an A or not. He's a really cool fig again, but I'll move him up to an A. He deserves to be an A. He's a cool fig. Next up, we have Master Wu. Master Wu, A-B+ fig. He's a really cool fig too, but like, he just isn't as great as other figs. Not as good printing. Kind of weird color scheme. Could have been better, definitely. Next up, we have Eren, who is very different from other figs in a sense, but he does not look necessarily the best. But I think I'll still move him up to an A. He kind of deserves to be there, along with Kai and Sora. Those are kind of a little bit more self-explanatory to me. I mean, these guys are just some amazing minifigures. Not necessarily S tier, but definitely A tier. Next up, we have Wildfire. Wildfire, I'm actually, not going to move to an A. Wildfire is a cool fig. She is a little bit more exclusive than the rest with her own hairpiece rather than a ninja suit, but I don't think she deserves to be up there. Next up, we have Jordana in these like special new suit. I mean, honestly, I'm just going to put her at an A. I think she definitely deserves to be an A. She's a really cool fig. Not necessarily the best, but still a really cool fig. And I think, like, of all the other characters, she has the right printing, she has the right parts to make her look good. Next up, we have Paleman. Paleman is staying in, so is Lord Ross. They're just not as good as the other figures in the A category, in my opinion. For the B category, I'm going to push some of them up. I'm just going to go over it really quickly. I'm going to push up Zane. Max Zane is a really cool fig. Definitely needs to be up there, as well as Mac Lloyd. And another minifigure I do want to push up is Master Lloyd. Master Lloyd is a pretty good fig. I don't want to keep sleeping on him. We also do have a Wolf Masquer and Tournament Zane.
And yeah, this is it, guys. This is the entire ranking for what I think the Dragons Rising minifigure should be ranked as. Put yours down in the comments below. I probably will link the tier list. And yeah, thank you guys so much for staying up till here, and bye.